Back in ancient times, the Simpsons faced a fierce, oncoming blizzard. A brutal storm trapped them completely inside a dark cave. Seeing his 3 children starving and suffering from hunger, Homer, as a dedicated father, risked his life to venture out in search of food. Once the storm passed, Homer kept searching for prey. While chasing an antelope, he got scratched and bruised all over by sharp thorns. Yet, he refused to give up, keeping a tight pursuit on his target. The antelope sprinted incredibly fast, leaping over mountains and valleys. Finally, the exhausted antelope could run no further. Meanwhile, Bart wandered too far off because of his playful nature and ran straight into a hungry wild wolf. Terrified, Bart instantly screamed to Marge for help. Thank goodness Marge arrived right on cue. Armed with a primitive stone tool, she bravely stood her ground to defend her son against the giant beast. She leaped up and landed a solid strike to drive the wolf back, but the furious wolf fought back fiercely, scratching Marge in the chaotic scuffle. Both sides were worn out and heavily bruised. Just as the wolf prepared for another attack, Homer arrived like a superhero, fresh off his successful hunt, and completely shielded Marge, realizing it was outnumbered. The next morning, Marge was hiding in the tall grass, eyeing a giant python. Catching the python off guard, she used a clever primitive trick to outsmart the giant reptile and successfully secured a massive feast for her hungry family. Since their old home was ruined, Homer had no choice but to lead Marge and the kids on a wild relocation journey. As they walked past a massive boulder, they didn't realize that the sneaky wild wolf from before was already waiting in ambush. The wolf suddenly lunged toward Marge, trying to catch them by surprise. But Homer, being the clumsy yet protective dad, with Homer temporarily separated from the family, Marge felt a wave of helplessness. But to protect her 3 children, she knew she had to be strong. Armed with her primitive spear, she charged toward the wild wolf, using the spear shaft to vault high over the beast's snapping jaws and landing safely on top of a massive boulder, successfully breaking away from the chase. When they reached a deep canyon, Marge used her unbelievable superhero strength to lift a fallen tree and quickly built a temporary bridge. Just as they finally made it to a safe cave, the persistent wolf blocking their path once again. Luckily, a sudden thunderstorm rolled in. A fierce flash of lightning struck a nearby boulder, causing it to roll down and trap the wolf, pinning it completely so it could no longer move. Marge raised her spear, ready to settle the score for Homer, but seeing the wild wolf's pitiful, begging eyes, her heart instantly melted. She used her strength to pry the massive boulder away and carefully bandaged the wolf's wounds. Deeply touched by Marge's kindness, the wild wolf was completely won over. From that day on, it officially became a loyal and beloved member of the Simpson family.